Greetings, viewers, and welcome to Tales of Winternacht and the Tales Cybil Spear, Book 3, Chapter 11, our primary actual play D&D 5e campaign. I'm Silver, and as always, I'll be your storyteller this evening, and with me are our esteemed players, Conrad, AJ, Jeff, Dustin, and Saga. Ernie will not be with us tonight, but he'll be with us in spirit somehow. For those of you tuning in for the first time, or if you've missed a session, we'd like to encourage you to check out previous sessions, including Book 1 and Book 2 on our YouTube channel. Also like to direct you to our Discord server to join our community and interact with us. Links to both can be found in the About section of our Twitch channel. Before we begin, I want to thank Smiteworks for Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice, Sirenscape for our amazing ambiance, sound effects, and music, Discord for our voice and video, and Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, the game we play. Tales of Winternacht is not sponsored by, nor are we an official representative of any of these companies, and the views and statements made during our game do not in any way represent those of the companies. With that, roll titles. With that, couple notes. I want to point out that we'll be continuing our follower giveaway during the stream tonight, where we'll be giving away a sticker sheet featuring the art of the party members created by our lovely artist in residence, AJ. These stickers are also available for purchase in the merch store, which you can find in the About section. And there's also a lot of other goodies there if you're so inclined. To enter the giveaway, you need to redeem 100 channel points and use the enter giveaway option to join, as well as joining our Discord. You can enter once each week, and they'll stack. You'll have more and more entries. It's once per week, but yeah, they'll just keep stacking until we hit 90 followers and do the giveaway. If you're chosen as the winner of the giveaway, you'll be contacted on Discord, hence why you need to join the Discord server, and we'll get your mailing address so we can send you your prize. Alright, with all that lovely stuff out of the way, let's get to some D&D. So, previously on the Tale of Cybil Spear. Cybil Spear, a group of 6 individuals brought together to combat various threats in the world of Winternacht before being caught in the web of an otherworldly entity known only as the Dreamer. Their current journey has brought them to Torsland, the northern homeland of the party's barbarian Jofreidr. After arriving in the port city of Riob, they met Aliona, Jofreidr's beloved, who traveled with them as they ventured to Jofreidr's home of Snodeskall, which they arrived to find abandoned, and after some investigation, located the majority of the children of the village alive and well, hiding in the sea caves, and having been cared for by a nearby lighthouse keeper named Helen. Rest of the residents had not fared as well, as the party discovered bodies of numerous adults, including Jofreidr's brother Ivor and the village elder Herdert. Whereabouts the rest of the adults remains a mystery, and theories abound. The only lead being a shield belonging to Clan Isbjorn and a few fractured memories and recollections from different children within the village, pointing towards Bjorn's flute, the home of Clan Isbjorn in the south. During an inspection of the Brioran temple, Jofreidr was possessed by the ghost of his fallen brother, and along with a few other undead spirits attacked the party before Aliona was able to persuade the ghost to stop. After putting these spirits to rest, the party said their goodbyes as Aliona decided to stay behind and help Helen transport the children to Riyadh, while the party searched for answers to the south. The party began their journey, narrowly avoiding encounters with various beasts along the way before taking shelter in a cave, occupied by an elderly catfolk who welcomed their company. Although various conversations along the way had maybe left various members of the party questioning the company of others or the trustworthiness of others. But trials and tribulations aside, they settled in for the night, and Jofreidr took first watch, quickly finding himself alone, looking out over the river valley of the Jernelv, the snow rams down below, and joined by the presence of a ghostly figure resembling his recently departed brother Ivor. Here in Snodeskall, it is late evening on the 60th day of Faderman, 296 years after the fall of Morel. Our tale resumes as Jofreidr stands face to face with Ivor's ghost. So, watch then.
Yep. Watch it is.
Been a long time. It's the last time we were on a watch together.
I wish I could have come quicker and earlier.
Ah, get here now. The rest of them sleeping?
My friends? Yes.
Sorry about stuff earlier.
Well, Aliana could always set us straight. That's to be sure.
Good woman you have there. Ah. Still, we didn't hurt anyone too terribly much.
Nothing permanent?
Good enough. Goes, puts his hand up, kind of like just scratches at his neck. Neck that you can visibly see just this big gash along it. He just kind of seems to brush against.
What happened?
I mean, when? I mean, did you? All I remember is you quickly finding myself in a body, a bunch of strangers around me. I started swinging. Uh, didn't realize until she came up and told me to stop that I wasn't me. It's been a bit of an adjustment.
I meant more of what happened before. To everyone else.
Ah, what do you mean? Everyone else.
The village is clearly empty.
just looks like he's thinking terribly hard. And like he's gonna have a meltdown that he just can't process what you're saying. Just resting, sleeping. They must have been sleeping.
Whose dagger is it? And he'll kind of reaching from like by his side. He's gonna just pull the dagger out, holding it by the blade.
He reaches his hand out to take it from you.
A little confused at first, he'll just kind of hold it out on an open hand.
He just holds an open hand down below yours, waiting for you to give it to him.
He'll grab it and then turn his hand over and then like just slowly like open it. But if it feels like it's gonna fall, he's gonna try and catch it.
Yeah, it just goes and falls straight through his ethereal hand. Give me a acrobatics. We need a dice roll.
Yeah.
I easily snatch it back up.
Well, he's had butterfingers.
Things a little bit different. I suppose, could you hold it so I can see it?
Yeah, he'll hold it up and kind of the light slowly turning it around so you can see all parts of the dagger itself.
Mm-hmm. Goes and shakes his head for a little bit and then just like turns away. I don't know where you. Where'd you get that?
In the room in the tavern where you were.
Um, no. Somebody must have put her name on that.
Who is she?
Was hoping, she'd be, my Aliona. I just can't be hers. Can't. She wouldn't have a knife. She's a sweet girl. Been hanging around the village for a few weeks. Oh, she wouldn't. It's just some trinket. Something she had. Maybe.
Is there anything you may have noticed during those few weeks?
I mean, like what?
Anybody watching things a little too closely? Weird things happening?
No, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, I might have been, a little preoccupied, but Cedric, give me a perception check. Ooh. Yeah, Cedric, back in the cave, kind of out of not a very good viewpoint. You can hear Jofreidr talking to somebody. You can't hear any other voice, just you hear Jofreidr talking. And by your count, there shouldn't be anybody else out there. Unless if he was talking to the snow rams, he'd be calling from quite a ways away, because the snow rams are down in the valley.
He's
so
a lot closer and
yeah.
talking. Okay. Yeah, I guess Zedri would kind of put down all of his materials because he was trying to manage his magics a little bit, and he'd go to check.
Where was she from?
Little village. Never heard of it before. Said it was down in the south. Hroskvir?
Prosecutor.
Said it wasn't a good place. Just her and her friend. Traveling through. Trying to get to Riob. She's a beauty. Honestly, seemed a little bit too good for me.
Yuffie will kind of look out to the open from the cave. Like, I'll kind of just a slight grin and be like, I'm sure she was perfect for you.
Definitely, he joins your gaze out, looking out across. Definitely, seemed like a good match. I don't know, suppose that's gone now. Do you know what we do about this? And he kind of just like looks at himself, being semi-transparent.
Oh, I suppose the rest of that honestly falls up to me. And he'll kind of look down to the dagger.
What's that got to do with anything? I'd say about this point in time, Cedric, just kind of looking down the hall, seeing Jofreidr, and now starting to catch a glimpse of, let's see. Yeah, you've had plenty of experiences with ghosts at this point in time. And since we established before the stream, you are a resident Ghostbuster. You would see this ethereal looking being, and you wouldn't recognize the figure at all, other than, well, give me an investigation. Yeah, can't really place anything. I mean, you're looking at the back of a head for the most part at this point, so don't really place recognizing the figure, but definitely Jofreidr's out here with some form of a ghost.
Does Jofreidr seem comfortable? Does he seem overtly
Insight.
tense? Okay. I can do these again.
Kind of vibes is Jofreidr giving off?
He seems comfortable. A little tense, maybe, but yeah, I mean, it's like he's talking to someone that he's known for a very, very long time.
Yeah, what does the blade have to do with this?
For whatever reason, I guess it's keeping you tied to it.
Hmm. Should probably don't tell Mother about any of this. She's probably not gonna take too kindly of whatever I am.
I should probably blame it on us missing all our lessons at the temple while we were younger.
Shit, is that what this is?
She may say so, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of what happened.
Ah. Oh, I suppose it's good. Um, and if you find Lavinia wasn't in the village,
Not as far as I know anymore.
I suppose if you find her, tell her to find herself a good substitute for myself. Suppose that might be a little bit difficult.
Oh, no one
But
could ever compare to you.
yeah, if only you mean that. Ah, just don't go get any ideas of stealing her away and kicking your woman out. I mean,
Oh, I'd probably not live through that.
no, I'll make sure I haunt your ass if you do that. So,
When you went to the inn, the tavern, where was where was father and mother and Aiden?
I mean, which time? I mean, I spent a lot of time there.
Oh, the last.
Home, I suppose. It was late. I don't think I went home.
No, you were upstairs in one of the rooms.
What? Yeah. You mean Stillips? Mm. Still upstairs in the room. You, where you found me?
You're not there anymore. I brought you home.
It's kindness. She wasn't there. It's good. Bad for her to have seen that. What? I don't know. Cedric do it.
After Scooby-Dooing around the corner of the cave mouth for long enough, I think he's going to go ahead and trek out there. Probably just approach, make himself known. He's not trying to hide his presence or anything.
I was just going to ask, are you stealthing out or not?
No. I'm no Alfred.
As you approach, Ivor just looks back over his shoulder, sees you, and just in an instant, just poof, disappears.
Do you need somebody to take over watch?
No. Just had some unexpected company, it seems.
Right. It's not like a, this is just gonna lean down. It's not like a Brevin situation, right?
No, I don't have anything lodged inside my body. No one whispering things in my head.
Do you want to talk about it?
Luvinia was her name, or his Alyona, I suppose. Or at least that was his hope.
Sorry, who exactly are we talking about?
And Jofreidr will show Zedri the dagger. Ivor.
Okay. I heard you talking out here. I guess if he was out here, it was only really half of the conversation, but it sounded like you were being amicable.
He said sorry for her earlier.
Right. I don't know that was exactly within his power. I mean, everything that I know about ghosts, there's only two types. There's confused folks who are kind of just stuck, and then there's aggressive ghosts. Did you have
He
to...
said it was late when he went to the tavern.
And you were trying to get information?
See if there's anything that he may have noticed or found.
Do you feel like you got what you needed from it?
I don't think he knows a whole lot about it, but I think she may have been part of it and he doesn't want to realize that.
Confused and stuck.
She had been around for a few weeks. From some small village in the south he had never heard of.
Okay, but she was so hot that he probably just overlooked that, right?
Seems so. He even found it a bit odd for her to be stricken with him, I suppose.
Sounds like a perfect spy, I guess.
Fortunately, it does.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Ivor. And Zidri will just kind of like wave around the space.
Nothing happens.
Jofreidr will kind of look down to the dagger. I know I need to get rid of it, but I don't know if I can.
I understand. It can be hard. It's kind of a little different. We don't exactly have the body right now. It's more so the spirit. So, I mean, we could try to do some sort of last rites, but I mean, I don't see him around. Hard to kind of find the limbs for everything when.
I think he understood that everybody else was gone, but he had no idea before.
You should take some time with him. I mean, chat like you were before I guess rudely interrupted, but I just wanted to make sure that you weren't exactly going to get possessed again.
Well, I guess that's a legitimate concern. Wouldn't happen the first time.
Right. Don't have a sensor. We probably should have grabbed some sort of incense from the temple, but kind of overlooked that. Didn't think you were going to keep the dagger.
And it just happened.
I'm surprised it was not fully unplanned for. And so as long as you know that you need to let go and do your best to help him let go too, then I'll just go ahead and let the others know, but take your space.
Somebody knows I have it. But then he knows most of the going-ons in the party.
Right. Okay.
Is that a knack for those things, it seems?
Well, then at this point, I guess I will. At the very least, you should be able to have some time to yourself. Whether you want me to do watch and you can just find a nice little looks over the entire like snow-covered forest terrain space to go ahead and sit between yourselves.
There's
But
plenty of space out here, but I don't think anything will go on. I think he can handle watch with me.
if you say so, I am going to be in line of sight and just I don't know, do something if something goes wrong. Code word?
What was that thing Kiesel had requested? The battered chicken.
The,
Yes, but
the
battered
strips of chicken? Okay. Yeah, no, battered chicken. We can go ahead and do that. Doesn't feel like food, it feels more like abuse towards animals if I'm just listening for you yelling out battered chicken, but sure. Cedric will get up. Be careful. Jofreidr?
Oh, that's what this party is known for.
Right.
I will.
And Zedra will head back. He'll go back to his spot. He'll move up his stuff a little bit, though, so that he has a better kind of like line of sight, or can like peek over and see Jofreidr. But
All right. As you keep your watch, the next hour or so till your watch is supposed to be done passes uneventful. Ivor doesn't return. No further activity. Just watch the gentle moonlight dancing off of the river out in front. Snow rams mostly quiet and rested. No predators. Not a lot of activity. A nice quiet night. Let's see. Who do we got on watch? Second.
Kiesel.
It's Kiesel. Somebody want to take control of Kiesel for tonight?
Yeah, sure. I'll think. So, why not?
All right. I cleared it, so you should be able to grab his character sheet. And then if you want to give a perception roll for Kiesel, assuming uneventful handoff as Zedra retires for the evening, presumably? Or is Zedra pulling a Kiesel tonight and doing the all-nighter?
Well, whenever Jofreidr and Kiesel switch, Zedra's gonna intercept Kiesel to tell him that Jofreidr has the dagger, and he'll use that as impetus to go and tell Lonan and Alfred, because Selena's already knows. And then Zedra's just gonna go back to bed.
Salinas knows more than he tells us he knows.
Always.
But what's new?
Kiesel, when intercepted, he would ask, "So, what do you want us to do? Do you want me to do anything? Do you want me to grab it?"
Power of knowing. I can go ahead and probably play interference if anything happens. I just thought it would be nice for everybody to, out in the open, know what's going on for once.
Right. Yes, information is good. I will go take my watch now. Have a good night.
Bye, Kiesel.
Alright, a perception check.
Yep.
A 7 and 18.
All right. Kiesel takes up his watch out front. Quiet evening.
Yeah, he'll spend his time just looking out, cleaning his scimitar, smoking his canonically last cigarette.
His 20th last one.
Yeah, passes a quiet night. Occasionally sees, some creatures off in the distance on the other side of the river. Pack of wolves comes through, but just look like ordinary wolves. No threat. Doesn't even rouse the snow rams or anything. And before long, 2 hours is gone.
I think Alfred was next.
Lonen's next.
Lonen's next.
Lonen
Alfred's got
after.
last shift.
Last shift. Correct. Yeah, so Kiso will pick himself up, give one last look over yonder, and then make his way back around the corner of the cave and find Lonen. Give her a gentle wake up.
Thank you.
Hey, it's your turn. Everything seems all right. Nothing too crazy.
Good to know. Let's hope it stays that way. Get some rest.
Thank you. You have a good watch.
Thank you. And Lonen will go outside and stand watch, and she'll summon Folk
Okay.
to watch with her.
Go ahead and roll me a perception with advantage. Because Loden needs advantage on perception checks. Either one of those would have been good. It would have been fun. We'll take the 26.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice full moon, well-lit valley, good vantage point, being a little bit elevated, looking out across the Jernelv, across the snowy plains of this valley that you've been traveling through, and pretty quiet night. Snow rams get restless every once in a while, where one kicks another one in their sleep, prompts a little bit of jostling, but then they quickly return to their rest. At one point in time, do catch sight of something that looks pretty similar to the giant fox face that you were face to face with earlier in the day. But it's off on the other side of the river, moving along the base of the hills on that side, and then quickly continues on its way. Never really gets very close for you to be able to, it looks to you far smaller from this long distance away, and definitely doesn't appear to pose any sort of a threat as it just continues through the valley, chasing after something.
At some point, kind of in the watch, Lonen's gonna look over at Folk. You know, girl, it's been a while since it's just been you and I again. But I mind them. Probably better for me to have someone else to talk to. Probably people were thinking I was going crazy, just having a spirit drake to talk to, mostly.
Folk just kind of looks at you, looks back out at this big giant creature off in the distance, just kind of a little bit of temptation. Doesn't really respond with anything. Just get the sense of a little tired, but still kind of wants that thrill of a chase on the other side of the river.
Don't worry, girl. I'm sure we'll find something to hunt outside of rabbits.
Gets just a toothy grin as lips pull back a little bit, bearing some teeth. Opens just a little bit, kind of just like she leans into you.
Lonen will put her arm around Folk and just kind of like stroke the side of her neck and finish out the watch in silence.
All right. And it stays quiet and peaceful. Just a nice night, little bit of communion with the dark, along with just the nice soft moonlight. And before long, it's your watch. You feel your watch is coming to an end.
Mhm.
Time to rouse Alfred.
Yeah, she'll dismiss Folk and go wake up Alfred. Just gonna shake his shoulder lightly. Your turn, big guy.
Or. Alright. Have a good night.
Same to you.
Alfred will slowly but surely pick himself up and shamble over to the mouth of the cave, wiping the sleep from his eyes. He'll plop himself down, just start like picking about some of his infusions, and just idling the time away.
Okay. Give me a perception roll.
Oh, excuse me. There is sleepiness in his eye. He's an eeky boy.
So you take a seat on the little ledge that juts out from the side of this hillside, the cave entrance. Picking through in your mind, just like picking through all the different things that you want to create, that you have created, that you are creating, your different projects, from infusions, from the different things that you've worked on with your different party members, to the project with Masa, for that matter. And you are full on, all inside your head, not focusing on the outside world. Until you're snapped back to it by a splash in the river. You see a large mammoth stomping through the near frozen river, just crushing through the ice, breaking chunks away as it floats down as the mammoth goes and crosses the river. Not appearing to pose any sort of a threat, just moving across from the far side over towards your guys' side and heading off to the north, back up the route you came. Alone, solitary. But as it emerges back out of the Jernelv onto dry ground, or snowy ground, just returns to peaceful. You pick up a little bit of a rhythm of the footfalls as it's moving off to the north and leaving, which starts to lull you into a little bit of a sleepy, restful position. Not that you fall asleep, just relaxed. That little momentary shock goes away as you move back to a relaxed position and your thoughts drift back to where you were. But the night passes. Before you know it, your little trick to pass the time has passed the time incredibly fast. It's like it's been like 3 minutes and 2 hours have passed.
Time flies when you're having fun.
As you just start to see a little bit of light as the sky starts to lighten a little bit. The moon now near gone from the sky and just a little bit of lighting at your back, telling you that morning is arriving.
Yeah, with that, Alfred will pick himself up, head back towards the cave, and go see about getting Cybil roused up for a walk and and then eventually everyone else, but mostly Cybil.
So you pick yourself up, dust yourself off from sitting out here on this little stone rocky ledge. Get up and you turn to find Slor coming back from somewhere as he's venturing back into the cave with a couple squirrels on a sling slung over his back.
Oh, good morning, Slor. How are you doing?
Oh, morning. Just getting morning exercise. You appeared to be resting peacefully.
Morning exercise. How long have you been up?
Oh, don't really think too much in time these days, but a while. First light tends to work pretty well for catching morning critters.
Alfred will point back out towards the vista. Slor, it's now first light.
On this side of the hills, you get on the other side of the hills and you can see a lot further.
Yeah, I guess that's how the sun works. If you go close further in one direction, you'll see more. All right
Anyway,
then. Breakfast.
breakfast? Yes, we'll
Yeah.
get breakfast. Do you got a favorite food?
I don't know about a particular food per se, but I'm very particular of one dessert.
I haven't had dessert in a long time. Once in a while, I've been able to make I can take the snow and I like pack it together, and like I can put some different seasonings together to like make kind of a little bit of a sweet taste to it. Usually minty.
Oh, that seems very interesting. Have you tried things that are not seasonings to add to it?
Like
Fruit, maybe?
don't get a lot of fruit around here, but I could try that.
Are there any berries native to Torsland?
Well, not most of the year. Everything's a bit frozen.
Hmm. Well, maybe you could talk to Kiesel about that. He seems to be quite traveled around with a very diverse culinary palate. He's surprised a lot of us. No?
He suggested the little stick things with the herbs in them for cooking. It didn't work well last night.
Well, I mean, maybe not everything he's heard or seen is as good as it's claimed.
Fair enough. So goes just like slaps you on the back as he's kind of leading you into the cave to head in. Do you didn't really say much when I was asking questions last night, or maybe I missed it. I missed things a lot. Do you have any good? I don't know. Fun stories. Gets a bit lonely. Any raunchy stories? Anything cool? Yeah, just anything exciting. Walking and talking.
Yeah, Alfred will, for the sake of brevity, he'll try and give him the best story that he can come up with in ad lib of him going to a neighboring country from Baral and winning a whole bunch of money and then losing it all.
Horrible story. Give me a performance check, though.
All right, thank you.
He didn't like the ending, regardless. So,
But it was great. Everyone was having a great time, and I was winning so much money, and then it just I couldn't stop.
well, I mean, they say, is it something like money can't buy happiness, but it can buy more seasonings, which makes for better food, and food can be happiness. Or
The
at
money
least
is
I
happiness?
have always thought, well, something like that. Anyway, suppose wake up all these bums and get you fed. What kind of interesting things you guys want to do? Are you gonna be staying for a while?
I don't know what our plans are right at this moment. We need
Great!
to.
We'll have another full day of questions and we can play some games.
Let me go wake everyone up, and I'll get them ready for everything for today. Okay?
Right. I will get to work on the squirrels.
Alfred beats it. He's gone, like the wind.
Well, you're like standing next to everybody at that point, so.
Oh no. All right, he'll go to the furthest person. Who's the furthest away from Slore?
Kiesel in the second most comfortable spot, since
Yeah.
Alfred had taken the best.
He'll kneel down by Kiesel and as he's like laying on his side, and he'll start to like gently shake him and go, Kiesel, please wake up, please wake up. And Kiesel will sort of groan and in reaction sort of like slap his hand out to bat Alfred. And then
Rolling an unarmed strike.
oh god, yes. Oh, what have I got myself into?
You're attacking yourself. It's great.
Where's I got daggers? I got glaives?
Just a strength check.
Oh, perfect. I know how to play D&D. Yeah, he slaps Alfred across the face.
Roll a d4. Or no, it's just one. I don't think he has any bonus, so it's just one.
Okay.
Just smacks Alfred in the face, knocking you back up against the wall of the cave.
Yeah, Alfred will reel from that for a second and stunned speechless. He'll take a second and then come back to Kiesel and after he's had a moment to recollect himself. Kiesel, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. But this guy is insane, I think.
Lore just kind of gives a quick look from over on the other side of the room where he's ripping the skin off of squirrels. Toothy grin. Returns to his work.
Kiesel will wipe his eyes and go, "Oh, you're only now figuring this out? Oh, what are we doing?" He'll just sort of like push Alfred off or like away as he gets up, and he'll go off to sort of like wake Salinas up.
I think historically, to wake Salinas up requires Salinas to make a perception check, because
Historically.
With disadvantage.
No, I think it's
No.
gonna be a straight one this time because these are not comfortable sleeping accommodations. It's a cold, damp cave.
You don't have the dome.
I said I had the dome.
Oh, then
I
you
put it
should.
up.
Not too much effort, surprisingly.
Come on, get up. All right, come on.
Hmm. Hmm.
Come on. If I have to get up, Alfred got me up, so I have to get you up. So you have to get someone else up. Now, we have an order to this, Linus. You know this. You gonna start to like roll Selena's a bit, like shaking.
Hmm. Hmm. Fine. This is okay, I suppose. Ugh.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Kisa will just give a big exhale. What are we doing today?
We are traveling.
Kisa will look over at Slor and like across the cave. I don't think that Slor has the same plans for us.
Slores now, humming a song that quickly turns into him singing in a very, very poor singing voice. Um, a lot of nonsense. It's like an amalgamation of a bunch of simple, like Old MacDonald and Yankee Doodle and a bunch of other songs that just don't fit together, and the words are just kind of mixed. He'll do like one line from one, and then it goes into the next one on a completely different beat.
Seeing that Salinas is not necessarily getting up at the quickest pace, Kisa will start to go over to Lonan next.
I was actually about to ask, could Lonan have already just woken up by this point? With all the like noise
singing?
around her?
With her passive perception, I would imagine she's a pretty light sleeper. So yes, I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
So he'll like go to wake her up, and she's just like,
She's
Like-
already like sitting up, just like, ah. Morning.
"Good
How are you?"
morning to you." Good. I think that the rocks were quite comfortable. I only have minor pains in my neck.
I've definitely slept on more uncomfortable rock. Yeah.
I have as well.
Yeah.
But I don't recommend doing it for much longer.
Same. Well, I guess probably should start getting ready to keep on our trek soon. Is everyone else up yet?
Alfred got me up. He'll glance over at Salinas. Got Salinas awake,
Yeah.
and now I'm here. So no.
Alright, I'll get Zedri and Jofreidr.
Alright, I'll see what Slor is up to.
Yeah, you hear a clang and look over that he's got the squirrels on a spit and is feeding the fire with some additional chunks of wood.
He likes asking a lot of inappropriate questions.
He does. I think it's just a lack of social interaction.
I was
I
gonna say
wouldn't
it's
hold
'cause he's crazy, but
that too. He is crazy.
yeah.
Very much so. not
Any
the
of you
craziest
all
person.
ever open a business? Just speaking out across the group, not to anybody in particular.
Still not the craziest I've encountered.
I mean, I
Not
was
by
kidnapped
far.
by a mad scientist, so I guess I can say the same too.
At least he's friendly, right?
Yeah, he's friendly.
Right. Friendly. That's good.
Friendly is good. I'll go get Zedri and Jofreidr.
I'll go be a friend.
Good luck
And a
with
quack
that.
quack there.
Wish me luck.
Good luck. Yeah, Lonan will... who's closer to Lonan? I guess the Jofreidr?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll go wake up Jofreidr.
Good
Morning.
morning.
Sleep well?
Yes, the rugs were quite comfortable. This was the softest one I could find.
Good for you. Alright, I'm gonna wake up Zedri too. The others are up, except Salinas is just awake, apparently.
Joker will kind of sniff the air a little bit. Oh, smells like squirrel. Again.
It was rabbit last night.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
They're all just as dangerous. Around here, at least.
Okay.
Have you seen the
Okay.
size of our squirrels?
I mean, they're quite large. I'm gonna go
Nice
wake up
save.
Zedri. She'll go over to Zedri and... Morning.
Yeah, thank you for getting me up. Everybody else
No
is
worries.
awake?
Everyone else is up. Salinas is awake.
Classic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are we starting to pack up? Zidri just like pulls back from the scent of the squirrel cooking. Yeah, no, we're packing up to go, right?
Yeah, I presume so. I mean, Kiesel's talking to Slor. Where's Alfred?
Alfred is packing his stuff up at
Alfred
least.
is packing. Alfred's packing. Salinas is over there. Jofreidr's over there.
Joker is sitting there trying to lead Salinas through some stretches, but Salinas is like, go away.
Yeah, Zedri will kip up and he'll start packing his stuff.
Yeah, same with Lonan. She'll go over and put her stuff up, and you guys see that she pulls out a not quite yet half finished, but it's like you can see she has a current project going that she makes sure is folded away.
All right. As you all make your preparations to pack up your things, deal with the unending questions from Slore mixed in with song from time to time. He doesn't really ask any really pointed questions that prompt any serious discussion. Just random things about what's the worst insult you've ever had. If you ever, ran a business, what kind of business would you run? If you had all the money in the world, what would you do? If you had all the money in the world, what would you do for one of your friends? Moves towards the more salacious things a couple times as to past lovers, future lovers, things like that. But ultimately, nothing super serious. Prepares a simple squirrel stew. well seasoned, smells good, tastes decent, and ultimately relents in your efforts to leave, giving a hearty wave as you make your way out to the snow rams as he just steps out onto the edge of the cave and just kind of attempts to give each person a hug as they leave.
Alfred would return the hug.
I'll allow it. I didn't have a squirrel stew. Need to make amends somewhere.
He'll like go in for the hug with Lonan, and she will just like put her hands up, and be like, "No, I'm not really touchy feely. I'm sorry."
But you come back, we'll get to know each other better, and then next time we get a hug.
Yeah, we'll do that. Thank you for respecting my boundaries.
He proceeds to just like immediately go in for hugs with the rest of the party. He hasn't changed his ways at all. As he moves through the other three.
He
But-
still will give him a firm handshake.
Which he turns into a bro hug. So
He still will
as much as
allow
he
that.
can as the elderly catfolk man. And you have your gear, you have your snow rams, and you have a very, very crisp, cold morning as the temperature has... It progressively got colder as the day went on. The day before, and has just kind of chilled even further overnight. Alfred, when you woke to find that mammoth, almost as much surprise as seeing a giant woolly mammoth walking across the river was the fact that it had to break through a solid river. That the river had frozen over.
When the mammoth was breaking through the ice, did it seem like the ice was thick? Like it was sheets of ice, or if it was just like coasting through it?
Okay, what'd you have for perception? A
A
4?
one. A 4.
With a 4, you
Yeah.
really weren't able to observe anything in particular. I mean, the water splashed, so there was still water moving underneath the ice on top.
Jofreidr,
What?
does it get any colder, or is this the coldest?
Normally
This is
it's
far
not.
from the coldest.
Well, we're in the warmer part of the year, even though this is a bit chilly for that. Oh, it's much, much, much colder during the winter.
We're in the warmer part of the year.
Oh,
We'll just
warm as it's
repeat
my
that.
deck for this time of the year, I suppose.
This reminds me of summer back in Ishnar.
This is summer.
Well, it's
As close as we get to summer.
Alfred will give
It
a
is
deep
summer.
sigh. I miss Burl.
Is it?
We've officially moved into the first day of Sonman.
Ah.
between book 2 and so far into book 3, we have officially covered a month in Winternacht.
You know it would be a
Well,
pleasant
months are long in Winternacht.
Yes, they are very long.
You know it's a good, nice warm summer when you only have to break an inch of ice in the morning off the water.
An inch of ice. Do you think that's how much is frozen last night? I saw the craziest thing last night. Jofreidr, do you have woolly mammoths? Or actually, would Alfred even have the concept of a woolly mammoth?
Give me a nature check.
What is a concept that Alfred would be familiar with? Would he know
Fuzzy
elephants?
elephant would be the best guess.
Okay.
And would Jofreidr know of what if we would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jofreidr would know that there's mammoths. Yeah, Alfred's familiar with elephants.
It was like an elephant, but it was like covered in like pelts and whatnot
Oh,
all over.
yeah, those are quite normal around here. Made quite good eating and plenty of nice good hide for some of the nomadic clans use them for their shelters. Quite warm.
Interesting. It plowed through the frozen river, and then went back up the way we came. It looked like.
Would it Jofreidr find it odd for the river to be frozen at all in the summer? With
Oh,
it
yeah.
being a river?
Yeah, by this point in time, things are typically pretty well thought out. You'd have a potential for maybe a late snowstorm this early in summer, but definitely the rivers being frozen is uncharacteristic of this point in the year.
Does it look like the river's frozen right now this morning?
It does.
Jofreidr isn't trying to look out. Was it frozen yesterday at all, or is this like a thing that kind of developed overnight?
As you were traveling, there was always chunks of ice and things at the early part. Larger and larger chunks of ice the further you got up. But the river was still, for the most part, just flowing with things going down it up until... say Jofreidr had a decent enough perception check during his watch that he would have noticed that things had started to slow and freeze up.
Well, honestly, the strangest thing is how much ice there is on the river. There shouldn't be ice at all.
Right. It's summer. There should not
Yeah.
be ice on the river.
It should just be cold enough to wake you up in the morning.
Alfred's just gonna furrow his brow at that. He's not gonna say anything.
All right, as we head out, beginning our day's travels, what's our order
Probably
as to
your
how we're
order.
traveling?
I guess Alfred will be right behind them as they've been talking.
Yeah, are we doing pairs or are we doing single file?
I think pairs has been best so
That's
far.
what you've been doing, has
Yeah.
been pairs.
Yeah. Lonan will take up the back, probably with Kiesel's been
Kiesel.
joining her back there, so two of them will be at the back.
Dynamic duo.
Put Cedric and Salinas together in the middle. That sounds like a great idea.
Lonan and Kiesel are the sass duo. Salinas and Zedri are the dynamic duo.
I can see the conversation. So, Salinas, you knew about the dagger.
And literally, Zedri is going to, like, just as we're going, he's slowly on a diagonal, and I guess Kiesel and Lonan would be able to see, but he is going to saddle up beside Salinas and just go, so we probably need to have a conversation.
Alright. Is this conversation?
Just the lackadaisical nature in which Jofreidr said that you already knew about the dagger.
Well, yes.
Well, I found out about it last night too, and I let the others know about it, but I'm just, you know that he has to get rid of it, right?
Is this normal volume conversation?
Probably a little bit lower. Zedry's showing a little bit of tact.
Okay, give me a stealth.
Sure.
Ooh, 13? What's
Pretty
our
sure.
passives?
A lot of people's
Oh.
passive is above that.
Alfred's passive is
Kiesel's the
That.
only one with an 11 that he is not going to pick up any of this conversation as he sits in the back. But everybody else would hear, being as you guys are all in pretty close proximity. Because I will point out specifically that not everybody was told about the dagger because the
Zedry
telephone stopped.
Zedry was going to tell Alfred and Lonan before going to bed, though. Like, after he told Kiesel.
Well, they would have already been asleep.
Be asleep. You could have
Okay.
told us this morning.
I tried to cover my base with it. I would have liked to communicate it. Zedry's not trying to, like, keep secrets or anything. He truly would
Yeah.
have tried to tell everybody.
I figured you were trying to play telephone with it, that it was you passed it on to the next guy, so the next guy was going to pass it on, and Kiesel
Oh,
just didn't. So.
no. I was going to
yeah,
be
if you
the
would have told him
one.
in the morning, that works fine.
Cool. Then yeah. Then Zedry will just say, everybody already knows about it, but you know that he has to get rid of it, right?
Well,
Are you gonna be the one to break the dagger if it comes down to it? Because that's really what the question becomes.
well, you know, if we get the chance, then perhaps we could find out a little bit more about what happened in Snodeskall.
That's what Jofreidr was doing last night, and it seems like he kind of got a lot of information out of it, and maybe
Right.
things ran dry.
Well, give it some
But
time.
best I could find out from Ivor is when he had his run-in at the inn, it was already later at night, and it's probably what started everything.
You spoke to Ivor?
Well,
On my watch.
You talked to a ghost.
It's more likely than you'd think.
I'm learning that real fast.
I talk to the animals sometimes too. I don't see why a ghost would be too far-fetched.
Right, but they're alive. It's just a different language.
Well, the ghost is alive too.
Depends on what your qualifier
Oh.
of life is.
I wouldn't put it like that. There is a soul that hasn't moved on.
Well, what about the creatures from Maidenborn? Well,
I'm the
obviously you
wrong
weren't there.
person to ask that question of, to be fair.
And maybe you're not the right one to be asking it of others. Jofreidr, we were there.
I don't think that I would consider them alive either. This
Like-
is kind of weird. Maybe the soul isn't what makes someone alive? Is that what I'm finding out?
I don't know.
What is the soul?
Okay, we are not here to discuss this. I'm just saying it's probably best that moving forward, if information like that comes to light, that we go ahead and disseminate that to the rest of the group. And I'll admit, I am very much pot calling the kettle black because and Zedry like gestures to the hand that he's been talking with this entire time.
I haven't seen that at all. That wasn't black.
Well, just trying to be sensitive, you know, it's Jofreidr's thing, and if he wanted to tell people, that was his decision.
There's there's sensitive, and then there's crucial information that can affect all of us. I mean, obviously I don't understand ghosts and spirits to the same level as y'all do, apparently, but it's like...
We do not.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's... You don't just commune with the dead. It's like, it's sacred. It's... In some ways, it can be seen as blasphemous. And, like, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, Jofreidr.
He started it.
No, I totally understand what you mean, though, Leonin. I mean, if it gets to a point where you're desecrating somebody's corpse and you're trying to take information out of them forcefully, I mean, that is extremely sacrilegious in Cedric's
extremely.
games.
Because it's like you're messing with... And Lonan doesn't even notice that Zedri is looking over at Selena. She's like, exactly. It's the body, our aether, our life force has gone back to the gods. We shouldn't, if we can help it, shouldn't disturb that.
But in a worst case, I don't believe he's quite made it there. Yes, part of that reason may be because I still have the dagger.
Also wondering, because Kisla and I both touched the dagger, and we didn't get anything.
Right, I did not have Ivor come into me and tell me to start chopping my friends up. That did not happen.
No, he didn't tell me. He just kind of
Sorry.
did it through me.
Right, he didn't take control of my body.
But beside him not knowing a whole lot of, or anything of what actually happened outside of that room he was in, Lavinia was who he hopes to be his Aliona. Which I think we are understanding that may have been an infiltrator herself. What it sounds like, the attack itself probably happened or started later at night.
Did he tell you where she was from, or...
Small village to the south of a name he's never heard of. So,
have you heard of it?
Did the name sound familiar to me at all?
Give me a history. Bring out that big intelligence roll here. Look at that.
You better take... listen, I have inspo. You should take it. You should take it for this one.
Honestly, it just sounded like this one group, this one family name of Surströmming. It's sardines. Quite delicious.
Okay.
So honestly, it's probably not a real place.
So, she was killed, or no, Ivor was killed by this
Probably,
Lavinia.
Yes.
And she left the dagger with her name on it in the room. I mean, she might have just dropped it, but it's also like... I don't think you want to just leave your murder weapon lying around if it has your name on it. Though she might have been using a fake name, and that was part of the ploy.
Not very many witnesses to tell on you.
But she'd also be making a bet that anyone who came across her again wouldn't know it was her if no one saw her.
Or
Especially-
maybe. Go ahead. Sorry.
Especially if she was part of the group that slaughtered and stole your people.
Right. No one would suspect her if she was with you the entire time. If she was seen as your beloved.
Jofreidr, you mentioned earlier that Ivor said that she was too good for him.
He said he was quite surprised that she would have gone for him. Seemed above his league.
Like,
I suppose Alyona is quite outside mine as well.
Yeah, no. Same with Arlo and me.
if she had like a supernatural glow about it, that would be a lot easier to pin down. But obviously, everybody is just not in the correct tier of their lover, so dead end.
It's a common thing you see when it's like, no offense, Jofreidr, about what I'm about to say, but when you have people like Jofreidr and more rough and tumble type of individuals.
You've only got so many options.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
But if you were wanting to go for someone smart, you probably only got about 3 different options in all of Horseland. Or someone literate.
Why do we keep calling out the illiteracy of Torsley? So just
Books are
like,
a very big thing and would definitely help if we had them.
isn't there an entire wizard school? There's more than 3 literate people in this country.
We don't know how
Now,
many
there's
of
at
the
least
wizards
5.
can read. Come out to see the pictures.
I don't think that's how spellcasting works, but okay.
A picture spelled it.
Irregardless, Jofreidr, if it's amenable to you, I think that tonight is probably the best time.
Right.
Unless you think otherwise. I mean, open to listening to everybody's thoughts. So she just kind of pulls back on Mystic.
Do you think I could read the mind of a ghost?
Does a ghost have a mind?
That's a good question.
I mean, they still think, so they still have thoughts
Yes?
and memories and personality.
Sure.
I mean, if we do it right before we sleep, then it shouldn't be too a problem, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Well, I'm not sure if he'll answer to my calls, but that's not something he does appear at and try to convince him to stay around.
I'm sorry, convince him to stay around?
Well, he kind of disappeared last night. I haven't heard from him since.
Oh, I thought
He's not trying to caught me by surprise.
he was there the entire. So I waved to nothing.
Well, it's not like I can just be like, hey, you want to have a talk? And he comes wandering out or something.
I would think very much that. Okay. I think it might be nice to go ahead and meet him tonight if he would be available.
I suppose we could always give it a try. He's gonna pull the AI for you got a moment to talk.
Nothing happens.
He might be asleep.
As you're having this conversation, Jofreidr, you see up ahead. You have a little side creek that is snaking across off in the distance, probably 500-600 feet ahead, that you guys are going to either have to cross the bigger river, the Jernelv, or go cross this smaller river up ahead. Or start going out of your way to go around it.
Probably just cross a smaller one. If it doesn't seem like it would be too difficult.
Give me a history check, Jofreidr.
Anything's better than the last.
Yeah.
Recognize this is the Isplit River, which considerably smaller than the Jernelv. And let's see. As you get closer to it, you guys have all noticed that even though the morning has worn on, the sun has gotten higher in the sky, it does not seem to be warming up at all. Just staying at that very cold sub-zero temperatures that you awoke to. And as you reach this stream, you find that the stream appears to be nearly completely frozen over at this point.
Well, might not get wet after all. Though I'm surprised it's frozen.
It appears to be frozen, but will it hold all of our weight?
Does Jofreidr know about how deep this part normally would be?
Give me a nature check. Alfred can give me a nature check too.
Okay.
What's his knowledge base of ice?
Ooh.
That was almost on the 20.
Damn.
There's a 2 in there.
There's a 2 and a 2. Seems
Do
like
nature.
it's
Looks like ice.
Bet you that will be my method of walk across this ice.
I seriously doubt that.
I don't know, with a 6, you might be pretty well convinced there, friend. It looks pretty thick. Enough that you can't see running water underneath it.
Alfred will go ahead and put 1 foot, like, gingerly onto the ice and sort of,
Okay.
like, test the weight.
Doesn't crack.
He'll put both feet on the ice.
Still holding.
He'll turn around. Alright, I'm on the ice. He'll turn back around. He'll take one turn of movement out onto the ice.
Is this you without your snow ram?
Without the snow ram, yes.
Okay. Seems to be no cracking, no sounds of anything. It seems to be holding solid.
And at 30 feet of movement, about how far across the river am I?
About halfway.
Alright, Alfred will make his way back over. Alright. You can hold me? Should we test?
I
Is there
suppose the
anything
real
that we
test
can...
is me then.
or the real test are the snow rams.
But if it fails, then what happens to our snow ram? How deep is this river? I can't really see through the ice.
Jofreidr had a 3 on his knowledge of the depth of the river. Anybody's guess. How deep do you think it is, Jofreidr?
It's probably changed since the last time I crossed here. And you're trying to just urge his snow ram forward.
Zedri is immediately going to turn around towards Lonan and be like, have you ever checked the depth of a frozen river before? Is that within your expertise?
I left Ishmar when I was 8, and there ain't much ice in Newton Dunk. But maybe if we were to take like a spear or a sword and like
I have
it in.
a chisel.
I think we need something longer.
I like how they're having this conversation, and Jofreidr's already going out onto the ice.
He's on
with
his
a
snow ram heading across.
Your suggestion is to break the ice?
Well, like in a small area. Try to see. Well, because if breaking it in a small area were to cause a large bit of chaos, then I don't think it'll hold any of us for a long. It certainly won't hold a snow ram.
Alright, as you begin to have this conversation and Jofreidr plows ahead aboard his snow ram, giving it the real test of the how solid this ice is. Does anybody follow Jofreidr?
He still would follow Jofreidr.
Maybe we should go one at a time, just to be safe.
It was sort of my thought as well.
If Jofreidr thinks it's alright, then I think it's alright.
Literally the two heaviest individuals of this group. You're wearing like full-on armor. Just want to put that out there.
Kisa will look himself over. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Don't. And he'll look over to Jofreidr. How's Jofreidr doing? He's already out on the ice, right?
Jofreidr, roll me a d20.
Come on, baby deer on the ice.
As he starts out, everything seems to be fine.
He's fine.
Everybody, roll me perception. I don't want to use passives here. I don't think it's probably. We're actively paying attention to the ice. I think we should roll.
Ooh, nice.
Wow.
Nat
I
1
see
and at 20.
Way to hit
I
both
didn't go
sides
for
of the
some reason.
spectrum there.
I think I also went from a nat 1 to a nat 20. Wait, is that true? No, never mind. I lied.
Okay. Cedric, Kiesel, Alfred, Lonan. All hear like a very, very light, very low level cracking as Jofreidr's making his way across, but don't see any visible crack or that the ice is giving way as he starts out. Does Kiesel follow?
Before he does, Alfred's gonna half shout out, half just normal voice. Kiesel, I think that you should wait till Jofreidr's across. It looks a little tenuous. And he's gonna get down as close to the ground as possible to try and see if there's anything more as it developed.
Give me an investigation.
Sure.
Jofreidr, roll me another d20 as you continue across because you don't hear anything.
Alfred will try and also like get a magnifying glass, and he'll use his flash of genius for a +4.
Okay.
Yeah.
With 12,
A 12.
don't see any signs of any significant cracking. You guys can all roll perception checks again. As Jofreidr continues across, ice holding up.
Two character sheets. 1 second.
Salinas?
Not good. He's gonna do.
Hey!
Oh, I take that back. You rolled a nat 20.
Nice.
All right. Cedri, Lonan, Alfred, Salinas. All hear some more cracking and giving of the ice, but there's nothing to see. Everything's still holding. Kiesel, again, not hearing anything. Jofreidr now halfway across the river.
Kiesel will shoo Alfred. It'll be fine, don't worry. And Kiesel will begin his trek on his snow ram.
Okay. Jofreidr, give me another d20. And Kiesel, give me a d20. Appears to hold as they both head out on there.
Kiesel will turn around on his snow ram and shout while waving his hands. It's fine! It's just all the way down.
They both start making their way across. Jofreidr's about 3/4 of the way across. Kiesel about 1/4 of the way across. And the ice appears to be holding.
I'm not going until they're both on the other side.
I didn't
This is my
like
thought,
this.
Any of you that are listening for the ice can roll another round of perception checks. All right. Cedri, you hear a little bit of cracking, but not much. Lonan and Salinas, you still hear some cracking coming, but again, no visible sign of the ice is breaking up. Seems to be holding under the weight of the two biggest members of the party. Not tallest, just biggest.
The most dense.
All right, Jofreidr, give me another d20. Consistently right around there. Kiesel. All right, Jofreidr makes it to the other side. Ice held all the way across. Kiesel's now halfway across. Ice is holding. And each time they roll the d20, if you want to make perception checks, you can. I won't call for them going forward. That's just up to you.
Bird.
That you easily hear cracking of ice. Again, no visible sign that it's breaking though.
Well, it seemed to be holding up, and both of them are making it across fine. Alfred's gonna get back on his snow ram. Cybil in tow. Or on the side, rather.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll start to make his way across.
All right. Anybody else? Or just gonna be two?
So
As Jofreidr stands on the other side.
Jofreidr's over there. Kiesel's in the process
Kiesel's
of going
halfway.
over. Alfred's about to go ahead and go too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Zedri's gonna turn back to Salinas and Lonehead and say, I feel like I probably have a lot of solutions that could limit the weight on top of the ice, but at the same time, I don't think that it's enough to go around. I could change the form of, and he'll pat Mystic on the head. But I can't do that to everybody's snow rims.
How far is Alfred? Can he hear this?
So you're still at the edge. You haven't actually ventured on yet. You're just about to. You would hear that.
Okay.
I still have that potion of diminution. That's the shrinking one, right? Because it does
Yep.
not have. Okay. Well, I mean, she'll pull it out of her bag. I have this potion that can reduce someone's SAS for a number of hours. I forgot I had it until just now.
Well, how many hours?
At most 4. At least 1.
Well, I don't think it's gonna take that long to get across the river.
Kiesel, give me a d20. As you're having this conversation and Kiesel's continuing. I'm assuming Alfred stopped as he's conversing, so.
Yeah, he's not walking and talking.
Alright. You don't have to roll perception as he rolls a 1.
Oh no!
Kiesel reaches about the midpoint, giving a quick look over his shoulder, watching as Alfred had started to head towards the edge, but had stopped just short. And you just hear a large crack as the ice underneath Kiesel's snow ram just breaks away and dropping Kiesel and his snow ram down. Give me a dex save for Kiesel.
Oh no. He's gonna kill me.
Hey, you got Indomitable.
I have Indomitable. Oh my god, I have things.
You mean I have to go read all the stuff that this guy can do?
I can
I'm
reroll
just
them.
filling in. I'm a temp.
Yeah. Okay, so I can reroll a saving throw. That's great! Thank you. I love y'all.
Mess with that one. That it's only showing the one little tick, but there should be 2 per
So,
long rest. So
The snow
Okay,
ram is
so-
absolutely screwed.
the snow ram has no chance to attempt
But he's
to
so
avoid going in. But Kiesel is able to. At the last second, he falls, legs go into the water, and he goes and he's like grasping at the ice, trying to keep himself up, and he's slipping, and just at the last second digs those elbows in, and is holding himself up on what remains of the ice as his legs dangle down in the water. So, I need a con save.
from Kiesel?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay.
And from the snow ram.
Nothing
yes.
if not consistent.
There we go.
Oh, it's a double click to roll something. So I double clicked. So just take the first one. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. With a 23. Kiesel's just like holding on. Brisk cold flowing across his lower half, but he's holding on and maintaining himself as the snow ram has disappeared down into below the ice and failing a con save.
No, not
See.
Annabelle.
No.
Annabelle's stat block here.
Imagine coming back to this after not being here for a week.
You got my snow ram killed? That's worse than getting me killed.
Okay. Annabelle takes 4 points of cold damage
Yeah, he's gonna
as
want
she's
this back.
floating down the river. No one has eyes on where Annabelle's at this point. Kiesel's out in the middle of the river, holding on to the ice that's there at the moment. What do y'all want to do?
So
I guess everybody roll initiative,
Okay, that's fair.
and we'll give whoever's highest on the list the option to do something first as to how quickly they can spring into action here.
Perfect.
Damn.
I know.
Well, almost perfect. I went as high as I could have.
Holy crap. 4 20s or above? We've never rolled that good in initiative. What the hell's going on?
No.
No, I'm consistent.
to
I'm
say
always
peaceful.
sub 10 over here.
All right, Lonan, you're at the top of the order as you catch sight of Kiesel dropping, his snow ram disappearing under the ice. Kiesel holding on for dear life to this ice as his lower half disappears down into the water.
She can't see Annabelle, correct?
No.
All right. Lonan is going to summon Folk and is going to command Folk to take the potion of diminution over to Kiesel and have him drink it and then carry him the rest of the way over the river.
Okay.
Thought you were gonna have folk go get Annabelle.
Going to, but
She's
since
under the
Lonan can't-
ice.
Since Lonan
She's under the
can't
ice.
Kiesel,
Annabelle.
Annabelle's gone.
Kiesel, give me a acrobatics.
Sure. Annabelle will come back as a haunted doll. It's okay.
She's
I
the
was
perfect
tempted-
name for it.
Yeah.
All right.
I wanted to go for Annabelle, but
So folk flying out across the icy river, staying up above to not put any more pressure on this ice, and then proceeding to drop this potion to Kiesel, who rolls a 9. So give me a d20 roll there, Dustin.
Okay. Doing great.
He's in a very tight spot here with his arms up trying to hold himself up, and here's this potion dropping, and it just tink off his fingers, hits the ice and shatters. As you watch the ice like subside and shrink a little bit as it's touched by this potion. And roll me another d20, Kiesel. So
Okay.
there's some more cracking, but it's holding strong. He's still staying there. Folk hovering above, splattered potion and broken glass at right in front of Kiesel's face. All right, Alfred, what are you doing?
Alfred is going to Okay. So Alfred is going to leap off of Snowflake, and in the air, he's going to click his boots and cast Fly.
Okay.
And from there, he is going to rush over, and he's going to. I know Fly is an action. If you'll allow me to at least like drag Kiesel, could I get to Kiesel as part of my movement and then partially drag him, or at least attempt to help him get up?
I'd say you could get to him, but actually going and like picking him up to carry him, based off his precarious position of not just being a static sitting there, I'd say you probably couldn't do that because you've used your action at that point.
Right. Okay. All right. Alfred's in front of Kiesel. He's holding his hands out.
All right,
That's his
Salinas.
turn.
There's a
Stop
Drake
sitting
and a
years
flying
away.
Alfred that are hovering over top of Kiesel.
Frozen in time.
Who took Sienna?
I saw her at the top. I was like, who?
It clicked on the wrong character for some reason. They keep dropping out of Fantasy Grounds.
That would be a good person to come in and save right now, though.
Yeah.
Your merfolk friend just happens to be traveling under this river at the moment.
Yeah.
I was just going upriver to visit some family.
They're the backriver folk that...
Yeah, I don't
That is
think
family
there's really
what we
someone's
talked
handy
about.
right now.
Okay. Anything you want to hold?
I mean, if I can see.
You got rope.
Yeah,
You can throw more vials out there and see if Kiesel can catch other things. Just keep on testing his dexterity. Oil slipperiness seems like a great thing to throw to a guy.
No, Salinas isn't going to do anything. He has nothing that he can do that will actually help right now.
Just some words
Okay.
of encouragement. Kiesel, get out of there. The water's cold.
Bardic inspiration.
Like when I go climbing, people are like, "Just go up." Thanks.
All right, Jofreidr, what are you doing? On the other side, this river seemed fine a second ago.
Alright, so Jofreidr will jump off of his snow ram,
Click his
And
heels
run-
together.
run the 30 feet out there, and grab onto Kiesel to keep him from at least falling further in. And I mean, I guess I could pull him out, or try to.
Yeah, you haven't used your action yet. Give me a d20 roll.
I'll try pulling him out if I make it.
Well, okay. Yeah, because you're not making any effort to like go slowly across it, right? You're just
Not really.
gunning it. Okay, so
No, I
full
have
movement,
40
you can get
feet,
out to
that's not
halfway. So
full sprint, but almost.
no, you wouldn't be dashing, but I mean you'd be
Yeah.
going at regular speed all the way across, not gingerly. So okay, so yeah, you'd be able to get to him and give me a
Athletics?
grapple.
So that'd be...
He's not going to contest it. Just make a grapple. So it'd be a strength or an athletics. I think we've typically done athletics or acrobatics. So
Good thing I got a good modifier.
yeah, 17. You're able to grab a hold of the top of his outfit and basically just yank him up out of the water.
Probably pulled people out of ice before.
Fair enough. And Keith will give me a d20 roll. As you pull him up and get him up onto the ice that you just pulled him up onto cracks and breaks. And you still got a hold of him. You're keeping him from falling down into the water, so no dex save required, but he splashes right back down in as the river is cracking more and more and more. Keith will give me another con save.
Mm-hmm.
Rocking the con saves, no problem. It's wet, it's cold, but bears through it, no problem. Brings it to Kiesel's turn. Kiesel could make an athletics to attempt to pull himself out of the hole.
Yeah, if there's any ice that Kiesel can make purchase on, or Jofreidr himself.
He's still holding on like he was before, it's just he's a little bit further over because the part he got pulled up and laid down on cracked underneath him.
I mean, not that Ernie would do this, but I imagine Kiesel like climbing on top of Jofreidr and just standing on top of him.
Use Jofreidr as a ladder. You know what? You can do that as an athletics with advantage.
I love that.
Use Jofreidr as a ladder.
Jofreidr piggyback ride.
That was
It's like
pitiful.
Jofreidr's feet are on the water that's broken free, so...
Yeah, he's
All right,
stable,
got 19. Yeah, he's able to pull himself up and out, and give me another d20 roll.
Thank God for big modifiers.
They are out of the water. The ice holds.
Nice.
No sign of Annabelle, but otherwise, everybody is out of the water, but the party is split with 2 people on the river and 4 people off the river.
Well,
And the 2
people-
that are on the river are closer to the other side than they are to the side you guys are on. And there's one sorry, I take that back. One's floating over the middle of the river.
yeah,
With a spirit drake.
Yes.
got company.
Zedri?
Do I spot any? Oh, sorry. Are we still in initiative?
I suppose we don't have any reason we need to stay in initiative at this point. So you guys we'll clear. Sorry, Zedri, you don't get a turn.
That's fine.
They took care of it for you. All right.
Is there any? Is there any indication of Annabelle?
Give me a perception or an investigation. I'd say perception, actually, probably here.
Okay.
Can I also do a perception check?
Yep.
I think. Now
Don't
that
rely on
Kiesel
Selena's.
saved- Yeah, now that Kiesel saved Alfred's, like,
Why do
What
I keep
happened to
rolling
the-
16s on my perception?
Cedric's going for it too, so there's a good group.
6s, 7s. Oh, we got up to an 11. Lonan, you see just for a fleeting instant, like a little bit of a movement in ice about 70 feet down the river, almost where it merges with the other river, with the Jernelv. It's minimal. There's not much to go on. You don't know whether it's her, but you do happen to see just a little bit of something.
So it's 70 feet down the river. I can kind of see her, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to her before she's swept out further.
Well, we are kind of stuck now, aren't we?
Is this like smooth ice, or does it have like the layer of snow, so it's like a little rough?
It's not smooth by any means. It's rough and wavy in different places. Plus, yeah, there is a layer of snow over the top.
Well, we're stuck in more ways than one.
Well, should we go across the other river? Is that safer?
Other rivers. Oh, not there.
You can't hear us. I mean, none of us would. I don't know.
You're just 30 feet away. It's not like you're that
Fair.
far away.
That's fair. Does it look
The
safe?
river is deeper.
Lonan will just like give a thumbs up across. Pretty. I mean,
Well, is the ice thicker then?
Is that how it works? If it's deeper, is the ice thicker?
No. Cedric, make a
Not
nature
sure.
check.
Oh, okay.
where?
I
You were
wasn't
weak.
great in my Brioran studies, but I think deeper water takes longer to freeze.
Jeff's apparently now the expert on ice, so.
I mean, that's fair. He's lived around it his entire life.
I skipped that week in my Brioran studies. Sorry.
All right. So you have a couple different options. One, move a little bit over and still attempt to cross this river. You can attempt to cross the other river, or you can head up back towards the hills and try and go to where the river is smallest. Be out of your way. Probably cost a portion of a day's travel based off of the distance to the hills. And just try and avoid them altogether, but you will be doing it separated unless the two are going to attempt to come back across.
Jofreidr, how does one normally cross this river? Is it normally just walk across the ice and hope you don't fall in?
Storming out is frozen in the summer.
Alright, what do you do when it's not frozen?
You walk through the ice. Water.
Alright, I assume it's not... You don't do it here where it's super deep and you can fall in. Where's the ford?
Probably frozen over with ice.
Okay, well let's find it there, and then when we cross, we'll only fall down to our knees instead of all the way in.
That the plan?
Well, how far do we gotta move?
Would Jofreidr
You
know
go
where
until
the
you find
fort
it.
is?
Or
Does
we
Jofreidr
could-
know where it is?
Give me a history check, I suppose.
Question. With the 18 in nature, would Zedru be able to deduce that the iron in the water would change the ability for this river to freeze?
No.
Okay.
And no, Jofreidr does not know specifically where the ford is.
I have a quick mechanics question. So, as a ranger, Lonan has land stride, which means moving it through non-magical difficult terrain costs no extra movement. Does that extend to full?
No.
Okay. either way, Lonan is gonna have Volk go to stay with Jofreidr and Kiesel.
Okay. Jofreidr and Kiesel both give me one last d20 roll as you guys get off the ice. Assuming you're going to the other side. If you want to come back the other way, it's going to be a couple more rolls.
Well, I left the areas on the other side, so
Kiesel d20 roll. Dustin d20 roll. Sorry, you got to answer multiple names tonight. So
Yeah.
Not used to answering the Kiesel.
as the two of you make your way off the other side of the ice, it breaks away fully at this point. That portion of the river is now just breaking up and floating downriver. Because of that, you are able to catch sight of a head peeking up above the water, down heading into the main river. As you catch sight of Annabelle just like trying to stay above water, trying to swim.
How long has this been since the initial fallen and now? Roughly?
At this point in time, 3-4 minutes.
Alright, so everyone sees her?
Anybody who's got a passive of 15 or above would catch sight of her.
Okay, never mind.
Is it just Lonan?
I think
Zedry?
Zedry's
I have
got a 15.
Zedry
I also have 15.
and Jofreidr.
Oh, okay.
How
Alright.
far is she now? Like she's hundreds of feet away?
No, closer to like 80, 90 feet.
Oh, okay. Peaceful. Would you mind grabbing Ares and I'll see if I can go grab Annabelle. And Jofreidr's gonna grab his rope from his pack and he's gonna take off full sprint down the river.
Zedry's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna dismount Mystic and say, I think that I can probably get over there. And he's gonna start running in step of the wind to go ahead and...
Okay.
Wait, before you go, Lonan's gonna cast very quickly on you Longstrider, so you get an extra 10 feet.
All right.
Yeah, Alfred's also going to whirl his way over, and he's gonna put little rockets on his little boots and cast Quickening Step. It's a little cantrip. It gives me 10 feet.
I can't drag
What?
anything, but you have 10 extra feet for 1 hour.
So if I have
I'm running.
if I have 40, I action dash and then I bonus action dash. Can I do that?
Are you road?
No.
Yeah,
but
what are
I
you doing
have
bonus action
step
dash?
of the wind for monk.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I think it only just shifts it that
To a
you can
bonus
take it as
action.
bonus versus versus an action. You
That's
don't
fine.
get to double dash.
Because I would be able to go 80 feet, so then I would be able to
I
get
think
over
you
and
can.
probably help.
I'm pretty sure you can move. Well, action dash.
No, because
action dash.
the action versus bonus action is how much of your attention has to be focused to do it. You can't actually like make yourself go faster than double your speed in a turn, because that's your speed.
Well, it's
Unless you have something that gives you like haste that's actually making you faster. Your step of the
Okay,
wind
that's
is you
new.
can easily run without an issue. That's why you can bonus action versus action, but not action and then bonus action to triple your speed.
Yeah.
We can check it later if we need to.
It's all good. I can make it over there with just a bonus action and then action to help out Mystic if Jofreidr doesn't get there first.
Can't hear you, Jeff.
We both have 80 feet of movement, so
I think.
All right, as you the
Yeah.
two of you get over there.
If we're quickening step, Alfred also has. You have 30 regular, 40 with that.
Okay.
And then dashing as well. I
And
don't
your
think-
quickening step is a bonus.
It's a bonus action
Okay.
cantrip.
Okay. Yeah, so the three of you, what are you doing when you get over here?
Well, Jofreidr's on the water, so assuming he's going to be able to get right up to her, he's going to have a loop in the rope by the time he gets there to like put around her and try to help her towards the banks of the river.
Okay. Gonna lasso?
Yeah.
Or let's see, because you're getting to 80.
Roughly.
You're still a little bit short of her. Because I think I had said 90.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we
So
would be
it's
within
stable, but
range.
it's-
Okay, let's see. What's a acrobatics, I suppose, for lassoing? Wild Westing
Yeah.
this? Hey, you know what? I will give you advantage as you're assuming Zedri is helping with the lassoing.
I'll do that because I don't want to moot point his.
There we go.
All right, you're able to get the lasso around Annabelle's neck, get a hold as the ice is breaking away, but you're just riding the water at this point. And you got her. She's got to take one more dice of cold damage. Get her, pull her over to the side, get her up out of the water. She's not moving.
If I was helping Jofreidr, could I?
Yeah, this would be after that action.
Can
So
I heal her? Can I
you
cure
have your
wounds
action
her?
again. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll cast Cure Wounds.
Saved. Ernie won't kill me.
Go ahead and roll your.
Don't die on
Annabelle just spurts water out and just immediately like tries to right herself, falls, hooves going out a little bit, and then picks herself up and just kind of gets as far away from the river as she can in one movement. As the party is split, but the danger's gone at the moment. Everybody's out of the water. And Dustin, you're no longer responsible for Annabelle, so.
Which side of the river did we get out on?
Would have been the far side, would have been the closest.
The one that we were on already. Or
The one that Jofreidr was on already.
okay.
So you, Kiesel, Jofreidr over there. Alfred can be on whatever side he wants to because he's flying over it.
Alfred will go back to his snow ram, so he'd be on the
Okay.
first side.
So you have 2 snow rams and 3 people on one side, and 4 snow rams and 3 people on the other side. Because Zedri is separated from his snow ram.
Lonan will have followed them down, just having stayed behind.
Okay.
Wait, did Selena's follow too, or?
I mean, if I'm the only one left, yeah, I guess I just won't be sitting there alone.
I mean, she would have kept up with him. That's why she stayed behind. To not leave him alone.
Well, no, Alfred would come back before his fly wore off. He's only got like a minute or 2 left on it.
So, what are we gonna do?
Well,
Good question.
we can still look for the fort that they were talking about, or it would take a little bit. Let's see what I have.
How, GM, how far across is this river?
About 60 feet.
Well, the ice held a human person, or a person.
Person in a snow ram for a little bit.
Right. But it held a person. So it would take a bit out of me, but I could make all the snow rams smaller. And then we could just
Well,
go
why
across.
don't you just fly the lasso across, and we can tie it around each one's neck, and then we can lead them. We can go across and then pull them across one by one, and if they fall in, Jofreidr and Kiesel can just haul them to shore.
That seems like there's a bit of danger involved. What if we lose one of the snow rams?
Then
You know,
someone
I
didn't
assume that's
follow
why.
the Cybil on the sled.
Yeah, to be fair, there's a sled with a Cybil also sitting on one side.
Yeah. Alright. I think I think we should at least find an area where the ice is at least is still held together. And I mean,
Right?
maybe shrinking the snow rams to one and let actually have us cross one at a time with a snow ram, or
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that would work. Just
But
take it
there's-
slow.
and there's 4 snow rams, Cybil, and us. But you can fly, so what if for 2 of them you're flying across while leading them on the ice via rope?
Would the ice hold both of them?
I mean, how much does it shrink though?
Oh, well, if I need to... I think I can only shrink all of them or fly again.
Uh,
I have about 4 uses of my little box. Oh, not about exactly 4 uses.
what are you thinking, Salinas?
I gave you my thought, but we can do whatever you want.
I mean, I'd be a bit tapped for bigger things, but I think it's a straightforward solution at least. I have to do them one at a time, so it'll be slow, but it'll be safe.
Right?
Alright. Okay. Alfred is going to I guess he'll just start with Snowflake. He'd walk up to Snowflake, set his little cannon up, and well, actually, he doesn't even need the cannon. He can just attach it, and then he'll press a button on the side, pull a lever, and then crank it, and then it'll finally start to wrap around. snowflake shrink her down.
How far does it shrink them down to? Just one size?
Yeah, one size.
Okay.
So that is, I think a quarter weight. Let me see.
So make them medium creatures.
1/8 of normal weight.
Okay. Okay.
And Alfred will begin to lead Snowflake across, and then let's see how we go.
All right. And are you going up river to a place where there's ice again? I assume
Yeah.
that was talked about. So
Yes. We'll go
Okay.
to a place that we can actually walk across in a safe fashion.
okay. Don't have to journey too terribly far. 200-300 feet upriver before you reach another point where things appear to be fully solid for a good long while. Give me a d20 roll.
Here we go again.
Yeah, make it across. Ice holds.
We'll walk back across. Walk up to Lonan's snow ramp. And repeat the process.
Okay.
You want me to cross with her, or?
I mean, yeah, I just crossed with Snowflake just because she needed some guidance, but this is your opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, Lonan she'll cross the ice.
All right. Roll me a d20. Goes across without a hitch.
Nice.
That leaves Salinas, Salinas' snow ram, and Zedri's snow ram. And the sled.
Is there anyone on the ice right now?
Nope.
Yeah, Cletus will just head across.
Okay. Roll me a d20. Get across without an issue.
Okay.
Little bit of cracking, but nothing ever breaks. Zedri's snow ram and the sled.
Zedri's gonna come.
Cybil's
back.
just sitting over there watching everybody leave.
So the rest of us are just watching from the other side, right?
You tell me.
Is okay, because Zedri, seeing them kind of like moving up, he'll turn to Kiesel and Jofreidr and say, I should probably go ahead and go over there. It was a little fast thinking, so hindsight. Mystic's still over there, and he's in a wild shape into a giant eagle and
Okay.
fly across the river. Probably catching them like as maybe Salinas is going across, just for simplicity's sake.
Okay. Easily, wild shape into your giant eagle, fly across over top of Salinas making his way across, and now you're the lone humanoid on the other side. Well, golden eagle, giant eagle, humanoid, I guess.
I'll drop my wild shape. Cybil the sled and Mystic are all over there,
Correct.
and Alfred is flying back and forth.
Not flying, walking
He's just walking. Okay.
on his 2 feet.
Okay.
Well, and he went over, came back, but then he's just. I guess so. Alfred would be over there.
Yeah, he's
So
gotta
are
be
you
on-
shrinking everybody?
Yeah, I'm shrinking all the snow rams.
But then
So-
Lonan walked hers over. Salinas walked his over, so you wouldn't have to cross. You'd just be over there. So Alfred is over there. So 2 fire hearts, a sled, and a snow ram, and a Cybil. Who's going next?
Whose snow rams are still there?
The only snow ram left is Zedri's.
Oh, yeah, okay. So
How-
Zedri's...
How wide is this sled?
Cybil
Dimension
sled?
wise? Yeah.
Well, okay, so I'd imagine it's dog size, so probably...
Like
say
4 foot,
like-
3-4 foot wide.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's take a 4x4. Just make it a box.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
3x4, 4x4, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Are you just gonna pull the sled with Cybil across the ice?
Well, everything that someone usually has on them shrinks as well, so I don't think Cybil can be on the sled anymore when I shrink them down.
Okay, I can go ahead and manage this sled. I'll have a lot less weight.
Okay. Go ahead and repeat the process, shrinking down the last snow ram.
Okay.
Mark my spell slots.
All right, Zedri.
Well, was gonna polymorph my snow ram, but I guess I'll polymorph Cybil. If she's over here.
You could just carry her across as an eagle.
Oh, nah. I'm not gonna scar the dog.
Sybil's a medium-sized creature. Can the giant eagle carry a medium-sized?
I'm not sure what
Yeah.
the logistics are of carrying.
I mean, I've definitely seen games of multiple humanoids riding on a giant eagle at the same time.
This is
Yeah.
not a sky horse situation. Zedri, he is going to go ahead and put his backpack like on front of him, and he is going to like open up the cinch top to it. He's gonna kneel down to Cybil, and he's gonna like kind of ruffle her ears a little bit, and then he's gonna cast polymorph on her and try to turn her into a weasel.
Okay.
I don't know how smart our dog is.
Cybil is the most intelligent dog ever.
Well, dang, Mystic wasn't that great on wisdom. She can't. And her mind is altered, so she won't remember this either, which is a great part of it all.
Yeah.
She's got weasel brain. So yeah, Zedri will
All right.
cast that.
Go ahead and give me the d20 roll. Make it across without issue.
Well, pull out the weasel, and before it can scurry away, I will go ahead and let it turn back into Cybil. And she's probably got the zoomies a little bit now.
All right, which leaves Alfred with the sled.
Cybil will bury herself into the snow for a bit.
I'll take this sled because Cybil was just small. I can carry that with my arms.
Okay.
Alfred will walk across the ice.
All right, give me one last d20 roll there, Alfred.
Here we go.
Leave our best swimmer to last. Made it by one.
Yeah.
I don't
Go and it cracks all the way across, and you just kind of carefully pick your steps And as your last steps off and you push that pressure off that back foot as you step ashore, it just cracks underneath, and you're on dry ground just barely.
Alfred will just
All right.
look behind him and then shake his head. Oh. Shiver.
You are all on the other side of the river, intact. Everybody alive. Everybody without any sort of major injury, with the exception of Annabelle's pretty beat up.
Sidri will triage her if need be.
Lonan
And
comforting Annabelle.
You are left with a decision. Whether to continue traveling along the side of the river that you have up to this point, or to move further away from the river and keep closer to the hillsides. As we kind of hit I'll kind of mark on the map here. So, let me turn on little tools here. Now cross the river, and you can go up the river like this, or you can go up along the hills like that. With the knowledge that Jofreidr, don't need to roll for this, would know that the Grahala clan typically camps near the Storefrost, which is, let's see, get my little ping button out here. Over here. So traveling along the river will likely take you into contact with them. The hills would be avoiding that potential contact with that clan, but would be more so running into interaction with more beasts and creatures. And I will turn that over to Jofreidr to quickly explain the options.
Well, personally, I'd recommend going through the hills, unless we meet there maybe some creatures, maybe a giant fox. Otherwise, we have a pretty good chance of running into the clan along the river.
I mean, which one do we want to face less? Other people or other creatures?
Well, you can negotiate with people.
But there could also be 200 people and maybe just one beast.
Or there could be just one person and 200 beasts. We don't really know.
Either way, we're taking a chance.
I think I would go with the beast. I feel like people would be organized and we would have a very hard time with them.
And that's if the people even want to negotiate with us. At best, if we're lucky, we can just scare off beasts. Or fight them off.
Alright, right, well.
What are we doing, folks?
Take the hill route.
All right.
If one of you dies, I'm going to tell you I told you so.
Well, then
All right.
you won't die.
As
We
you
all know
veer
who that
off.
was.
Yeah. You veer off to the east and move away from the Jernelv, moving back towards the hillside. Start making your way, continuing your way south here, still in the first half of the day, still pre-noon, but the sun now well above you, heading towards its apex. And as you continue your journey, moving further and further away from the sounds of the river valley, and more so towards the hills, Lonan, you catch a glimpse of something up in the hills, peeking over the hillside. And give me a perception check.
Disadvantage?
Yes. Actually, no. Straight roll.
Okay.
As snow has started to fall, the sky has clouded up over the course of the morning, and snow has started to fall. So you have protection from the sunlight at the moment. So you just have a straight check. With your 26 perception check, you look up into the hills and you see a couple sets of horns peeking out over top of the hills before they quickly disappear back into the hills. And that is where we will leave things for tonight.
Don't know many horned creatures out here.
Maybe it's tusks. We're seeing them from the bottom.
The wolves
maybe
adapted.
Maybe it's just a bunch of the woolly mammoths, yeah. They're having a party, you know, shaking their horns up and stuff.
Yeah, it's a celebration. The start of summer.
All right, so that is where we will end things for tonight for the VOD. Thanks for tuning in. Those that have been here live, had a first-time chatter, some subs tonight. I think one more follow. So we'll continue rolling the giveaway off to next time. We will be... Cybil Spear will not be next week. We'll have something different next week, and we'll keep you posted on that in the schedule. But thanks for tuning in. If you're watching on demand, come watch live. It's more fun, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye, VOD viewers.
Bye.
Goodbye. See you next time.